45 essential phrasal verbs for your morning routine. Hello. Today I'm sharing a list of useful phrasal verbs that are perfect for a morning routine. Phrasal verbs are combinations of verbs and one or more particles, like a preposition or an adverb. These combinations often have meanings different from the original verb. Using them in daily conversation can help you sound more natural and fluent. Let's dive into these morning routine phrasal verbs and see how they can make your daily activities easier to describe. Wake up, meaning to stop sleeping and become awake. Example, I wake up at 6:30 a.m. to start my day. Wake up to, meaning to become aware of something, e.g., a sound or news. Example, I wake up to the sound of my alarm. Turn off, meaning to deactivate something, like lights or alarms. Example, I turn off my alarm as soon as I wake up. Sleep in, meaning to sleep longer than usual, especially in the morning. Example, I accidentally slept in this morning and was late for work. Stretch out, meaning to stretch your body after waking up. Example, I like to stretch out to shake off any sleepiness. Get up, meaning to rise from bed. Example, I get up at 7 a.m. Head to, meaning to go toward a specific place. Example, I head to the bathroom after getting out of bed. Take up, meaning to start or begin doing something, especially a new activity. Example, I take up yoga in the mornings to stay healthy. Warm up, meaning to prepare or stretch your body, especially before exercise. Example, I warm up before doing my morning workout to prevent injury. Set aside, meaning to reserve or keep something for later. Example, I set aside some time for exercise in the morning. Brush off, meaning to ignore or dismiss something. Example, I try to brush off any negativity that might affect my day. Freshen up, meaning to clean or freshen yourself. Example, I freshen up by brushing my teeth and washing my face. Wash up, meaning to wash your hands, face or body. Example, I always wash up in the morning before breakfast. Take off, meaning to remove something like clothes or shoes. Example, I take off my pajamas and get dressed for the day. Start off, meaning to begin your day or something with a specific action. Example, I always start off my day with a cup of coffee. Turn on, meaning to activate something like lights or appliances. Example, I turn on the coffee maker as soon as I wake up. Whip up, meaning to quickly prepare food. Example, I whip up a quick smoothie for breakfast. Heat up, meaning to warm something, e.g., food or drinks. Example, I heat up some leftover food from yesterday. Cut up, meaning to chop food into smaller pieces. Example, I cut up some fruit for my smoothie. Sit down, meaning to place yourself in a sitting position. Example, I sit down to have my breakfast after cutting up the fruit. Catch up, meaning to update or get up to speed with something or someone. Example, I like to catch up with the news while having my morning coffee. Check up on, meaning to make sure everything is okay, especially with people. Example, I check up on my parents every morning to make sure they're doing fine. Jot down, meaning to quickly write something. Example, I jot down any important tasks on my to-do list. Call up, meaning to make a phone call. Example, I call up my friend to confirm our plans for the evening. Clear up, meaning to clean or tidy up. Example, I always clear up the kitchen after breakfast. Put away, meaning to store or tidy up items. Example, after breakfast, I put away the dishes and clean the table. Clean up meaning to tidy or clear away. Example, after breakfast, I always clean up the kitchen. Look after meaning to take care of someone or something. Example, I look after my cat in the morning by feeding him. Take care of, meaning to handle or manage something. Example, I take care of my morning chores, like making the bed. Drop off, meaning to leave something at a location. Example, I drop off my kids at school before heading to work. Run errands, meaning to do small tasks like shopping, going to the post office, etc. Example, I run errands after work, but sometimes I do them in the morning. Chill out, meaning to relax or calm down, often in the morning after a busy start. Example, I like to chill out for a few minutes after breakfast before starting work. Check out, meaning to examine or look at something. Example, I check out the weather forecast before leaving. Pick out, meaning to choose something, e.g., clothes, items. Example, I pick out my clothes the night before to save time. Get ready, meaning to prepare yourself for the day, e.g., getting dressed. Example, I get ready by picking out my clothes and getting dressed. Put on, meaning to apply something such as makeup, cream, or lotion on your body or face. Example, I put on some cream on my face before work to keep my skin moisturized. Brush out, meaning to brush your hair or something else gently, usually to tidy up. Example, I brush out my hair before getting ready for work. Pick up, meaning to collect or gather things. Example, I pick up my keys and wallet before leaving. Go over, meaning to review or check something. Example, I go over my to-do list for the day before heading out. Slip on, meaning to quickly put on clothes or shoes. Example, I slip on my shoes and coat before going out. Put on, meaning to wear clothes or accessories. Example, I put on my shoes before heading out. Head out, meaning to leave and go somewhere. Example, after my morning routine, I head out for work. Set up, meaning to arrange or prepare something. Example, I set up my workspace before starting work. Check in, meaning to confirm your presence or status, like checking work emails. Example, I check in with my emails first thing in the morning. Get along, meaning to have a harmonious relationship. Example, I get along well with my co-workers, which makes mornings easier. By incorporating these phrasal verbs into your daily routine, you'll be able to express yourself more naturally in English. With consistent practice, you'll soon be speaking just like a native. Thank you.